Alright guys, so welcome back to another practice test, and as you guys can see, this is also another calculator section as indicated by this small calculator thing, and I'm gonna be doing section 4, right? I think this is practice test number 7. You guys can find the link of this test on the SAT website, SAT College Board website, or my YouTube, or the link in my YouTube description below. But you guys can check that out if you guys want. Let's begin because you guys seem to really like these type of videos. Alright, let's hop into it. Question 1. 1 pound of grapes costs $2. At this rate, how many dollars will C pounds of grapes cost? So let's just say 1 pound costs $2. So let's just say how many will 4 pounds? So how many dollars would 4 pounds of grapes cost? That would cost $8. So which one of the following is equal to 8? 2 times 4 is 8, so that's good. 2 plus 4 is not 8. 2 divided by 4 is not 8 as well. And 4 divided by 2 is not 8. So it means our answer is going to be A for question 1. Now, question 2. Tracy collects, sells, and trades figurines that she tracks the numbers of figurines in her collection on the graph below. On which interval did the number of figurines decrease the fastest? So we can look at the interval of 1 to 2 because that's when it decreases, as well as the interval of 3 to 4. So if you guys just look at the graph, you guys can tell that this has a steeper slope, so it means 3 to 4 is going to be your answer, C. Yeah, my voice might sound a little sore right now because I think, yeah, but don't worry about it. So question 3. In a random sample of 200 cars of a particular model, 3 have a manufacturing defect. At this rate, how many of the 10,000 cars of the model will have a manufacturing defect? So for every 203, so let's just call this the defects, and this is the amount of cars. This is 3 to 200. In this case, to 10,000, how many would that be? So this is times 50, right? So this would have to also be times 50. So what's 3 times 50? 150. That means your answer is going to be A. Right? Now let's move on. Question 4. The scatter plot above shows data collected on the lengths and widths of Iris setosa petals. A line of best fit for the data is shown above. Based on the line of best fit, if the width of the Iris setosa petal is 19 millimeters, what is the predicted length in millimeters of the petal? So the line is 1.67x plus 21.1. So 1.67x plus 21.1. So they're asking what is the predicted width when x is equal to 19. So what is 1.67 times 19 plus 21.1? So let me just grab my phone. Alright, and so you guys have the calculator. Alright, so let me just plug that in. So 1.67 times 19 is 31.73 plus 21.1 gives us 52.83. That means our answer is going to be C, 51.83. Alright, let's move on to question 5. In the figure above, line L and M are parallel. Y is equal to 20 and Z is equal to 60. What is the value of X? So let's just write this out. So Y is equal to 20 and Z is equal to 60. So if these two lines, L and M, are parallel, that means that this angle is the same as this angle, meaning that this angle right here is also 20, because Y, these two angles are the same because it states that these two, if they're parallel, these two angles are going to be same. Now they're asking for the value of X. So we have this triangle right here. This triangle right here, as you guys can see, 20, 60. So what's the total amount of degrees in a triangle? It's 180. So 180 minus, how much is this? 20 plus 60 is 80. So 180 minus 80 gives us 100. So it means X is equal to 100, or B. Alright, let's look at question 6. 2 types of tickets were sold for a concert held at an amphitheater. Tickets to sit on a bench during the concert cost $75 each, and the tickets to sit on the lawn during the concert cost $40 each. Organizers of the concert announced that 350 tickets have been sold and that $19,250 have been raised through ticket sales alone. During which of the following systems of equations could be used to find the number of tickets for bench seats B and the number of tickets for lawn seats L that were sold for the concert? So the tickets for the bench were sold for $75. So what does B represent? It represents the bench seats, and L represents what? The lawn seats. So the tickets for the bench were $75 each. So 75B plus how many were the lawn tickets? $40. 40L is equal to how much was raised? 19,250. So we have already one of the equations. So that gives us, this is wrong because this is times, not plus, as well as this, because the bench tickets were 75, not 40. And next, oh, and we can also eliminate this because the total profit wasn't 350, it was 19,250. That leaves us only with an answer of D. Alright, let's move on. Question 7. In the xy plane, the graph of which of the following equations is a line of the slope of 3? So, if it has a slope of 3, so y is equal to mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form, right? Where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. I made a video on this, so check that out if you haven't. But in this case, if m is equal to 3, so m has to equal to 3. So which ones of the following shows m as 3? In this case, m is 1/3, so this is wrong. M is 1 in this case because there's an imaginary 1 in front of this x, so that's wrong. In this case, m is equal to 3 because it's 3x. There's a 3 in front of the x. So this is correct. Well, in this case, there's a 6 in front of the x, so that means the slope of this line is 6, not 3. Boom, your answer is going to be C. Alright, question 8. In the equation above, which of the following is a possible value of x plus 1? So looking at this equation, x plus 1 is equal to 2 over x plus 1. So what can we do? I'm going to multiply both sides by x plus 1. Right, that'll give me x plus 1 squared. If I multiply both sides by x plus 1, so x plus 1 squared, x plus 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1 squared is equal to 2, because these two cancel out. Right, and now they're asking for what is the value of x plus 1. Yo, watch what I do right now. I'm going to square root both sides. If I square root both sides, these two cancel out, the square roots and the square cancel out, giving me x plus 1 is equal to root 2. X plus 1, x plus 1. Root 2 is our answer. I think B is going to be our answer. So for this question, you guys just have to see how to do it instead of solving for x individually. But you guys can solve for x, but that's just going to take longer than my method that I just used. Alright, question 9. Which of the following what is the value of k in centimeters? So let's look at this right here. What is the value of k? So volume is equal to 7 pi k cubed over 48, right? In this case, the glass pictured holds a maximum value of 473 cubic centimeters. So if the volume is equal to this is equal to 473. So we just have to solve for k. So let me use my calculator because, alright. So how am I going to approach this question? So we have this, right? Now I'm going to multiply both sides, 473 times 48. And so that means that 7 pi k cubed is equal to 22704 because I multiplied both sides by 48. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 7, leaving me with pi over k cubed is equal to this value right here. And next, I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. Divide 3.14 because that's what pi is approximately. And lastly, we're going to have k to the third is equal to 1033. In this case, 10 to the third is around 1000, right? So it means 10.11 seems to be the appropriate answer. 10.11 seems to be an appropriate answer compared to 7.79 and all those smaller values. So that's how I got it. Alright, so let's move on. Question 10. Water pours into the glass slowly and at a constant rate. Which of the following best illustrates the height of water level in the glass as it fills? So, as you guys can see here, the glass looks like this. So as it fills, like it slowly fills quickly. It fills quickly, but then it gradually starts filling it slowly. Because as you guys can see, the top right here, I mean like, as you go up, the cup gets wider, right? So as it goes, so for example, as it's filling, it goes quickly, and then it gradually starts filling up slowly as it reaches the top. So that means C is going to be our answer. If you guys look at the model, you guys will get the answer easily. Alright, question 11. Jenny has a pitcher that contains 1 gallon of water. How many times could Jenny completely fill the cup with 1 gallon of water? 1 gallon equals 128 fluid ounces. So let's look back at the cup question. So the cup right here, right? So the cup is approximately 16 fluid ounces. So 16 fluid ounces is, so 1 gallon is equal to how many, is equal to 128 fluid ounces. So that means that 1 gallon is equal to 128 divided by 16, because it's 128 ounces, fluid ounces for 1 gallon, but 16 per cup. So that means 1 gallon is equal to 8 cups, right? 128 divided by 16 is 8. So it means she can only fill B, 8 cups. All right, question 12. Roberto is an insurance agent who sells 2 types of policies, a $50,000 policy and a $100,000 policy. Last month, his goal was to sell at least 57 insurance policies. While he did not meet his goal, the total value of his policies were over $3 million. Which of the following statements of inequalities best describes X, the possible number of $50,000 policies, and Y, the possible number of 100,000 policies that Roberto sold last month? So it says that his goal was to sell at least 57, right? But he did not meet his goal. So X plus Y has to be less than 57, right? So that leaves us with C. Oh, that cancels out. Wait, that cancels out B and D. So that leaves us with A and C, right? Let me erase that a little better. So it says that he sold over $300,000. So it means over. So this value right here has to be greater than 300,000. 3 million, I mean. So A is wrong. In this case, this is greater than 3 million. So C is going to be our answer. All right, let's move on. Question 13. If A to the negative 1/2 is equal to X, where A is greater than 0, what is A in terms of X? So I'm just going to use values of A and X to show you an example. So I'll just say 2 to the negative 1/2 is equal to what? That's equal to, what is that equal to? That's equal to 1 over, wait, I'll use 4 as a value. So 4 is equal to 1 over the square root of 4. That is what 4 to the negative 1/2 is equal to. So this is equal to 1 over 2, because square root of 4 is equal to 2. So A is equal to 4, while X is equal to 1/2. So they're asking, what is the value of A in terms of X? So let's just plug it in. The square root of 1/2 is not 4. Square root of negative 1/2 is not 4 either. 1 over 1 over 2. So 1 over 1, what's 1 to the 2 squared? 1 over 2 squared. That's equal to 1 over 4. So 1 over 1 to the 4 is 4. So that means A is 4, right? So these two are equal, meaning our answer is going to be C. Alright, which of the following is the value of X, which the equation negative 3 over X squared plus 3X minus 10 is undefined? For a value to be undefined, the denominator has to equal to 0, right? So let's just set this equation right here equal to 0. So we can factor, right, giving us this is equal to 0. That means that X has to be equal to negative 5 or 2 for this to be undefined. So negative 5 or 2. And there's no negative 5, so it means D, 2 is going to be our answer. Alright, question 15. A granite block is in the shape of a right rectangular prism, has dimensions 20 centimeters by 40 centimeters by 50 centimeters. The block has a density of 2.8 grams per cubic centimeters. What is the mass of the block in grams? Density is mass per unit volume. So what is the volume of the block? It's 30 by 40 by 50, which gives us how much? 30 times 40 times 50 is approximately 3 times 5 times 4, that's 60,000. So the volume of the block is 60,000 cubic centimeters, right? But the block has a density of 2.8 grams per cubic centimeter. So if we divide this by 2.8, what does that equal to? That's approximately 168,000. Alright, so that means our answer is going to be C for the density of the block. I mean, the mass for the block. Alright, question 16. The table above shows the results of a research study that investigated the therapeutic value of vitamin C in preventing colds. A random sample of 300 adults received either a vitamin C pill or a sugar pill each day during a 2-week period, and adults reported whether they contracted a cold during the time period. Which proportion of adults who received the pill reported contracting a cold? So, which of the adults received the sugar pill? So, sugar pill, 150 adults received the sugar pill. And how many of those contracted a cold? 33. So what can this simplify to? 33 divided by 3 is 11. 150 divided by 3 is 50. So 1150 is going to be our answer. B. Let's move on. Question 17. The table above shows the distribution of ages of the 20 students enrolled in the college class. Which of the following gives the correct order of the mean, median, and mode of the ages? So the mode is going to be 18. So mode is 18, obviously, because 6 has the greatest frequency, right? And now median. So median would be 1, 1, 1. Let's cancel out. I leave 3, 1, 2. Alright, so if you guys know how to find median by canceling out all the frequencies, the median is going to be it's going to be 19. Right, it's going to be 19. If you guys don't know how to do this, then just search this up yourself, because finding median is one of the easiest things you guys will learn in math. And lastly, what is the mean? The mean appears to look something like around the points of 18 points. Actually, it looks something around the points of 19 point something. It'll be 19 point something. Actually, no, the median has to be greater than 19, because as you guys can see here, the frequency is around, like, the highest around here, and all the values are greater than 19. So the mean has to be greater than 19. So that means that the mean is the greatest, right? The median is the second greatest, and the mode is the least, hence giving us A. Alright, question 18. The figure above shows the relationship between the percent of leaf litter mass retaining the compositions for 3 years and the mean annual at temperature in degrees Celsius in 18 forests in Canada. A line of best fit is also shown. A particular forest in Canada whose data is not included in the figure has a mean annual temperature, why did I say income, of -2 degrees Celsius. Based on the line of best fit, which of the following closest to the predicted percent of leaf litter mass remaining in the particular forest after decomposition for 3 years? Okay, that was a lot to read in. I hate reading such a long question. But -2. So if you look right here, -2, they're asking for what is the predicted. So we look at the line of best fit. So -2 is around right here. Actually, -2 is around right here. So if we look at the line of best fit, that'll be around somewhere along the lines of 60 something. Right, 60 something. That means our answer is going to be 63, or B. Right, it'll be 60 something. Yeah, wait, no. It's around 70. So it means our answer is going to be C, 70. Because if you go look at the line of best fit, it's going to be somewhere around right here. So, and that's points at 70. So it means our answer is going to be 70. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell for you guys, but I could tell it's 70. But let's look at this question right here. Question 19. The range of the polynomial function f is in the set of real numbers less than or equal to 4. If the zeros of f were -3 and 1, which of the following could be the value of f of x in the xy plane? So the range is in the set of real numbers less than or equal to 4. So that means that it cannot point up, because all the y values has to be less than 4, right? All the y values have to be less than 4, because it's in the set, the range is in the set of numbers less than or equal to 4. So it means it cannot point up. It cannot be greater than 4. So C is wrong, as well as D. So let's just look at A and B. Right, so the zeros are -3 and 1. So the zeros in this are 1, 2, 3, -3 and 1. So that means A is going to be our correct answer, because the zeros of this are 1 and -1 and 3, not 3 and -1. I mean, -1 and 3, not -3 and 1, right? So our answer is A. Moving on. Question 20. The average annual income cost for a criteria home is $4,334. Excuse me. The house owner plans to spend $25,000 to install a geothermal heating system. The homeowner estimates that the average annual energy cost will be $27,112. Wow. Yeah, I hate reading. Alright, let's continue though. Which of the following inequalities can be solved to find T, the number of years after installation, which the total amount of energy cost savings will exceed the installation cost? Wait, let me read that question again in my head, because I was distracted. Alright, so basically, the total cost is going to be $25,000. So it's not going to be C, because you're not subtracting anything, right? 25,000 is going to be on one side of the equation. The homeowner estimates that the average energy cost will then be 27,100. So if we subtract this, right, we're going to subtract these two and then multiply by t. So this is going to be when it exceeds. So when $25,000 exceeds, this will be it, right? So B is going to be our correct answer. All right. I'm not going to read the top. You guys can read that yourself if you guys are doing it. And 21. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the number 3.39 in the context of the problem? So 3.39 is the slope, right? As you guys can see right here. I don't even need to read this because it's a waste of time. Don't read this ever. What? You just need to look at the graph and the equation to give. So 3.39 is the slope. So number of years and amount of plastic. So that means that for each year, 3.39 represents the increase in the amount of plastic every single year from 1993 to 2003, 1985. But so boom, your answer is going to be C. Right. Next question. All right, question 22. Which of the following is closest to the percent increase in the billions of pounds of plastic produced in the United States from 2000 to 2003? So if you guys look back at the graph, in 2002, so that's 15 years from 1985, right? That's 15 years, so that's right here. That's going to be 100. And they're asking for a one in 2003, right? 2003. Yeah, they're asking for the increase from 2003. So that's in 18 years. So that's about 1,010. So, I mean 110, what am I saying? So they're asking for what is the increase. This is obviously a 10% increase. So which one of the answer choices represents a 10% increase? Boom, 10%. A. Next question, question 23. The equation above models the number of members M of a gym T years after the gym opens. Of the following, which equation models the number of members of the gym Q quarters after the gym opens? So to represent Q quarters, you're gonna have to divide T by 4, right? Because 1 year and 4 quarters, T divided by 4. And next you're gonna have to divide 1.02. So the equation is always the rate divided by 4. So what is the rate in this case? It's 2. So 1.0.02 divided by 4 is 1.0.05, which is equal to 1.005, giving us C. Wait, no. Yeah, giving us C as an answer. Because, as I said it wrong, it's not Q or 4, it's 4Q, because there are 4 quarters in a year, so 4Q is equal to T, right? The amount of years. So C is going to be your answer. Alright, question 24. For the finale of a TV show, viewers can either use social media or a text message to vote for their favorite 2 contestants. The contestant receiving more than 50% of the vote won. An estimated 10% of the viewers vote, and 30% of the viewers were cast out on social media. Contestants 2 earned 70% of the votes, and 40% from the cast using its text message. Based on the information, which of the following is an accurate conclusion? Alright, so... Alright, if all the viewers voted, contestant 2 would have won. If all viewers have voted by social media or text message, I think the answer is going to be C, because if you guys use your logic, 70%, contestant 2 earned 70% of the votes, so it means obviously he would have won, because 70% is much greater than 50%. So you guys just have to use your logic and reasoning skills on this. This is pretty easy. It's not really a math question. 25. The table above shows the population of Greenleaf, Idaho for the year 2000-2010. The relationship between the population and the year is linear. Which of the following function P represents the model of Greenleaf 2 years after 2000? So what is the slope? The slope 846 minus 862, which is negative what? That's negative 22. Right? No, that's negative 18. Negative 16. What am I saying? Negative 16. And then over the span of how many? 10 years. So that's a minus 1.6 each year. So the slope is minus 1.6t. Boom. Your answer is going to be A. Because none of these represent that. Right? Wait, no. It's not going to be 1.6t. Because t represents the years after 2000. So you're going to have to subtract t from 1000. From 2000. Meaning your answer is going to be D. Alright. Not A. Because it says the t years after 2000. So you have to subtract t years after 2000. All right, moving on. 26. To determine the mean number of children per household in a community, Tapita surveyed 20 families at a playground. For the 20 families surveyed, the mean number of students per household was 2.4. Which of the following statements must be true? All right, the mean number of students per household in the community is 2.4. Sure. Actually, no. Because if it's at the park, that means they have children. So that doesn't account for the people who don't have kids. So A is wrong. Determination about the mean in the household should not be made because the sample size is too small. That might be true. And next, we have the sampling method is flawed and may was based on... Exactly. That's what I said before. Because the method is flawed. Because if you survey someone at the park, it's obviously going to be wrong. Because why would someone go to the park without a kid? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that was the answer, C. 27. In the xy plane, the point PR lies on the line with the equation y is equal to x plus b, where b is a constant. The point with coordinates 2p, 5r lies on the line with the equation y is equal to 2x plus b. If p is not equal to 0, what is the value of r plus r over p? So, Alright, so let me read this again in my head. Alright, so 2x plus b. So in this case, right, it's the same value. So 2p plus b is equal to 5r, because I just plugged in 2p for the value of x and 5r for the value of y. And the second equation, actually, no. I plugged in p for the value of x, so p plus b is equal to r, right? Because I plugged in p and r for the values of x and y respectively. And now I'm going to plug in 2 times 2p, so 4p plus b is equal to 5r. Right, I subtract these two equations. I'll subtract it this way, the other way. 4p minus p is 3p, b minus b is nothing, and 5r minus r is 4r. So 3p is equal to 5r, so that means I'll call p equal to 4 and r is equal to 3. So what is r over p? What is 3 over 4? 3 over 4. Meaning your answer is going to be B. Next question. The 22 students in a health class conducted an experiment in which they each recorded their pulse rates in beats per minute. After completing in a light exercise routine, the dots below represent the results. Let S1 and R2 be the standard deviation and range respectively of the data before exercise, and let S2 and R2 be the standard deviation and range respectively on the data after exercise. Which of the following is true? So, if the standard deviation is represented by S, so that obviously means that the standard deviation in the first graph is greater than the standard deviation in the second graph, because this is less spaced out than this, right? So S1 is greater than S2. That means that our answer is going to be C, right? Because that's the only one that has S1 greater than S2. So boom. Took 3 seconds to do. Next question, 29. A photocopy machine is initially loaded with 5,000 sheets of paper. The machine starts at a large job and copies at a constant rate. After 20 minutes, it has used 30% of the paper. Which of the following method models the number of sheets of paper P remaining in the machine and minutes after the machine started printing? So, after 20 minutes, it lost 30% of its paper. So that means after 20 minutes, how many sheets of paper are left? So that's 5,000 times 0.7, so 3,500 were left. And so it used 1,500 in a matter of 20 minutes. Right, so how many does it use each minute? Divide both sides by 20. So in 1 minute, the machine uses 75 pieces of paper. So that's 5,000 minus 75 m, right? Because after each minute, it uses 75, and there are 5,000 in the machine initially. So that gives us B. All right, question 30. The complete graph of the function f and a table of values of the function g are shown above. The value of maximum value of f is f is k. What is the value of g of k? So the maximum value of f is k. So what is the maximum value of this graph right here? As you guys can see, the maximum value is right here. So the maximum of k of f is k, which is 3. So k is 3. So they're asking for what is g of 3. So what is g of 3? G of 3, if you look right here, g of 3 is 6. Meaning your answer is going to be B, 6. Alright, now we're entering the short response questions. And the thing is, I didn't the last 4 questions could not print, so I only can manage to do these questions. But you guys can figure that out yourself and find the questions in a link in the bio if you guys can't find, you guys want to do the last 4 questions, but that's up to you guys. If you guys made it this far. Question 31. There are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen and 1 molecule of water. How many atoms of hydrogen are there in 51 molecules of water? So there are 2H for every 1 oxygen. So in total there are 3 molecules. Wait, no. For 1 molecule, right? For 1 molecule. So if there are 51 molecules, then you multiply these numbers by 51. So what's 2 times 51? That's 102. So that means there are 102 hydrogen atoms in 51 molecules of water. Alright, next question. 32. If x is equal to 1, the equation above, what is the value of a? So let me just plug in 1. So 1 minus 1/2 a is equal to 0. I'll add 1/2 a on both sides. That'll give me 1 is equal to 1/2 a. Multiply both sides by 2, a is equal to 2. Meaning your answer is 2. Alright, next question. Now, on the xy plane, the equation x plus 2y is equal to 10 and 3x plus 6y is equal to c. Represent the same line for some constant c. What is the value of c? Alright, so they represent the same line. So x plus 2y is equal to 10. If I multiply this line by 3, if I multiply the whole line by 3, 3x plus 6y is equal to 30. In this case, 3x plus 6y is equal to c. So if they represent the same line, what does c equal to? C is equal to 30. Right, that's logically true, because if they're the same line, 3x plus 6y, 3x plus 6y, c has to be equal to 30. And our last question of the day, 34. On April 18, 1775, Paul Revere set off on his midnight ride from Charleston to Lexington. If he has ridden straight to Lexington without stopping, he would have traveled 11 miles in 26 minutes. In such a ride, what would be the average speed of his horse have been to the nearest tenth of a mile per hour? So we're going to have to use our calculator for this question. So let me open my calculator. Alright, so before I utilize my calculator, let's go. So he traveled 11 miles in 26 minutes. 11 miles. So I'll just say 11 miles over 26 minutes. So how much would he have traveled in 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, right? So x miles, so I'll just cross multiply. So 26x is equal to 11 times 60. So let me just use my calculator. 11 times 60 is approximately 660 divided by 26. So he traveled roughly 25 miles. Right, yeah. He roughly traveled 25 miles in 60 minutes. So what is that average speed of horse to the nearest tenth of a mile per hour? So that's 25.4 miles per hour. Boom, your answer is 25.4. Right, because using the calculator and using this equation right here, 25.4. Alright, so yeah, exactly. So you have finished. So the remaining 4 questions could not print for some reason, so that's all I'm left with. But these are the questions, guys. So I finished nearly 1 minute per question, and that's enough time. That roughly gives you 38 minutes to complete the whole entire section 4, which leaves you with 17 minutes available to check your work or do whatever. So this is it, guys. This is how easy it is. This is how quickly you can do it. And hopefully you guys learned something, and write your questions in the comments. Peace out.